Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Legendary Sports Podcast, Fantasy Football Life, Fantasy Football Edition. Oh man, I'm your host, Jared Michelson. And
I'm Antoine Beeks.
that's right. Oh, what is week 13? Oh man.
Talk to me, baby. You know
The
what? Let's just go ahead and start off with Chargers and Patriots. Patriots look really awful. Steelers, Cardinals, right? The Cardinals went and put that thing on the Steelers. It was a get back game for your boy. Get back game for your boy.
McBride.
What's James Conner? James
Oh,
Conner.
James Conner. And part of
James
that
Conner,
crazy
25 for 105 and two TDs.
I don't
I
know whose
mean,
boy James Conner is. He ain't my boy.
he put that thing on him. Kenny Pickett got hurt. I'm just going over this stuff real quick, man. Kenny Pickett got hurt. Mitch Trubisky played. Wasn't nothing there. Najee and Jalen Warren shared the backfield. Whatever, right?
Yep.
The Falcons and the Jets, nothing there. Um, if you had the Dolphins, of course Tyreek Hill just this better than anyone. You know it
He's
better
still
than anyone.
cooking, man. He had
Man,
17 points in like the first 10 minutes of the first quarter. It's crazy.
this dude's insane, man. This dude is insane. 5 for 157 and two TDs. Um,
Low volume,
it's
high production.
oh my god, man. I'm glad I didn't play him. Let me just say that. I'm glad I didn't play him
Doesn't
today.
matter. I still lost. But anyway, we'll talk about that afterwards.
Devon Achane on the way back was 17 for 73 yards, two TDs, Moster with a TD. Here's what I'm really impressed. Well, I guess I wouldn't say impressed by, but I'm kind of like stomped as to where Terry McLaurin was today and where he has been for the season. Um, I wouldn't necessarily call him a bust because he's very, very talented, right? Like he
Yeah,
is
but where
one
you
talent.
drafted him is why you call him a bust, right? If you draft him in the fourth, fifth round, like what are you really getting?
I mean, he just
Disappeared.
I mean, all year. I mean, he put up 5, 8, 7, 9, 9,
He is not the
0
alpha.
to.
Like it's been Curtis Samuel for most of it, really, and with a sprinkle of John Dotson, and that's it.
But I wonder what's going on in that offense or locker room to where he's just 1,000-yard guy, and then all of a sudden he's. I mean, he is.
Yeah, him and Howell are not seeing each other. That's for
He
sure.
hasn't had a
Crazy.
100-yard receiving game all year and two touchdowns
Yeah, I don't even know if he's
all year.
even had like a 90-yard receiving game.
He had 90
Oh, okay.
yards.
Okay.
So I'm kind of in that aspect of just like, where did my guy go and what has he done? Like it's really scary.
Yeah, no,
Um,
his disappearing act is something else. So you got through a little bit of game stuff and everything like that. Who's a highlight, man? Who is somebody that you're just like, all right, man, you're the guy who I needed to be, and you showed out this week. I got one that I can
uh,
start with.
Go
Kamara.
ahead.
This guy has been just the most consistent cooker I think I've had on my team all season.
Well,
Locked out with
Let's not
28.9
forget
fantasy
Tyreek
points.
Hill.
What's that?
Let's not forget Tyreek Hill.
Oh yeah, but you already talked about it. I didn't want to throw him out there because you already talked. Charlie Hill's like the obvious. That man just eats and eats and just does whatever he wants on the field. I mean, when you watch him, it's surreal how fast he is, how he's just running away from every single person on the field. It is unreal. The 70-yard catch or whatever, bye. The deuces were up ASAP.
As soon as he caught it, we had the deuces up.
Wasn't even close. They weren't even gonna. They were never gonna catch him, no matter how good the angle they take. Um, but Kamara has just been a guy. I mean, you got him in like the seventh or eighth round, and I say this again and again. elite, man. Just been elite all season. Top 3 running back for the season. Like it's been awesome to have him. You know who wasn't good? I'll give you a bust for this week. Bijan after last week. I know the Jets defense is good, but if you were the mainstay of the offense, you should at least be the dump down guy. You should at least be getting targets and receptions out of the backfield. But you got 3 for 26, which was okay. But 18 for 53, that Jets defense is for real. If Rodgers was there, my goodness, what a different story this would be for that whole team. Oh my gosh.
For some people's fantasy season too, because I got Garrett Wilson in a couple leagues and he's just not doing anything.
Talk about another bust. Talk about another 8 points today. Boyle is not the guy. Oh gosh, what a train wreck and a dumpster fire that whole team. I feel like, and I don't know if this is right, but I feel like there's a lot more dumpster fires this year than there has been. I mean, our Cardinals are a dumpster fire. The Steelers are a dumpster fire. Yeah, they're winning games, but miraculously sometimes. Not this week, but they have been up until this point, right? But they look like a dumpster fire. Tennessee, even Jacksonville. So many teams that you thought would actually perform haven't all been it.
I wouldn't necessarily. I wouldn't necessarily say that these teams are dumpster fires. I would say that there've been some teams that kind of caught you by surprise, and I don't know if I would, and I wouldn't even. Yeah, I don't even know if I would say
like you said a dumpster fire. Like,
well, I wouldn't necessarily say a dumpster fire. Joe Burrow's been hurt. I mean, like you can't escape injury.
But that's what causes the fire. Every fire has a spark, an igniter, right? And that igniter then burns the rest of the team. That's what the dumpster fire is.
I don't know, man. I think they've been really good. I mean, I guess you could say that, but without Joe Burrow,
so you said Garrett Wilson's been really good. You say Ja'Marr Chase has been really good compared to where you drafted him.
No, of course not.
that's what I'm saying.
But then you said the Jaguars.
Jaguars were a dumpster fire for a long time. And I did say though that as of recent they've been better. As of recent they've been better.
They're 8-3.
Yeah.
Now I would say this though. I would say that there's
7 something, but that's why I said they would skate by, right? They barely make it through. And when I say dumpster fire, from a fantasy perspective, they're not giving you numbers that you need. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting is George Pickens giving you numbers? Is Deontay Johnson giving you the numbers that you really want?
They trash.
The dumpster fire.
I guess they trash, right? They go into the dumpster. You throw the trash into the dumpster. I would say there's been a lot of people that's been not necessarily the guy.
Chargers are another one. Like, no, I shouldn't say the Chargers in a hole. Justin Herbert.
Chargers in a hole, yes, they are awful. I would say the Chargers in a hole.
Like Keenan Allen I'm surprised he's been able to perform as well as he has, because Herbert has played probably the worst football I've seen him play in a long time. He's only been in the league 3 years, but in the first 2 years, he was not this.
Yeah. I don't know. There's been a lot of people underperforming. Let's just say that. There's been a lot of people underperforming as far as where you thought that they would be and the things that you thought that they would do. One guy who's consistently outperforming himself is 2 guys. And I'm excited to see these guys because this means a little bit more for the tight end room going forward is Sam Laporta and Trey McBride. These guys, Trey McBride, he was decent during the season, and then he caught fire as of these last 3 weeks with Kyler Murray.
When we get to the back end, we talk about our leagues. I got some Trey McBride stuff to talk because I shot myself.
And then Sam Laporta, or is his name Sam?
Laporta. You're right. Yep,
Laporta. I mean, 9 for 140 today and a TD. I mean, like he's just terrorizing defenses. They
Mhm.
lost Hawkinson, TJ Hawkinson last year. They let him go to the Vikings, and everybody was just in an uproar. And they just went to go get Sam Laporta, and Laporta's doing the same exact thing. It's crazy. But the guy that I'm gonna shout out this week, uh, who had a great week was this guy right here. That was this guy right here that was standing on business. He was, and that was DK Metcalf as he did that to the camera. I mean, 6 for 134 and 3 TDs. I mean, he absolutely lit it up
Yep.
this week. And it's not something that we're used to seeing from DK Metcalf.
It's
I don't
DK you
know.
hope to see, but we're
It, it's
expecting to
definitely
see.
It's definitely the DK you hope to see. I mean, but all year he's been, 6.9, 6.7, 5 points, 10 points, 3.2 points last week. I mean, he's had one game with over 100 yards. He has,
Mhm.
before having 3 TDs, he had 3 TDs. So now he's got a total of 6, but he's had 3 TDs all year, one game with over 100 yards. I mean, like, the DK that we hope that he would be. And sometimes I think it's Geno Smith. I think it's the quarterback, right? Because he was much better with Russell Wilson, right, as his
Yeah.
quarterback, right? We all thought that he was going to be AJ Brown, right, with Russell Wilson, right? And so it hasn't worked out for him as much as we would like to have to. But this week, the guy put on a show.
Yes. Yes. And he was
So
lights out, and a couple of these where I had him, I was super happy about it. Speaking of putting on shows, thank you, Mike, or I should say, not thank you, but thank you, Mike Evans, for destroying me 7 for 162 and a touchdown. That is a highlight for the week. I mean, like, everybody thought the whole Baker Mayfield experiment down here would be the detriment and downfall to the entire offense. And for the most part, it's been a wavy. It's not bad, not good. It's wavy. But for Mike Evans and his 1,000-yard season streak, the only reason I'm still going to be happy about this, even though he cooked me this week, because the person I play against has him, is because I want to see that streak continue. So this is a non-fantasy perspective. This is just from a person who likes football. This is awesome. So thank you for not killing that, Baker. Thank you. Now, on that note, why did you do that to me this week?
man, hey, Mike Evans is one of my favorite wide
Players,
receivers
period.
of all time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
I
Like,
like Mike Evans.
he's
He
just
doesn't get into trouble. He doesn't say much. He goes out there. He does his job. He's
yep.
been with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Tom Brady for winning them a
Super
ring because
Bowl.
he absolutely deserves one. And
Yep.
I mean, he's just great.
He just doesn't
On the
get talked
flip,
about enough. He's not flashy, but gosh, is he a beast.
hey man, listen. On the flip side of that, man, how do you feel about Travis Kelce this year?
I'll let you know after this game tonight. No, compared to where he has been the last seasons, he's not bad by any means, right? But you can see he's slowing down. You can see the age, the wear, the tear. It's the Gronk effect where it's like it's coming to you. You see it. He's just not the same. Like, I mean, even his like wiggle is just slow and so. But is he still a top 3 tight end? Crazily, yes.
You think so?
I do. We lost Andrews, right? So we don't have that to compare with. Hawkinson could be putting up a battle for that 3rd spot. I would put Kelce at the 3rd spot right now just because of where, well, no, I would probably say Laporta, Hawkinson, and Kelce. Those are the 3 I would put up there.
Who's 4-5 right now?
In my book, I don't know who's actually good by statistics, but it would be McBride. In playing quality, it'd be McBride. I'm trying to think if there's any other. Kittle. Kittle's been pretty good this season. Kittle would be up there too. So those are the top 5 in my book for tight ends as far as how they're playing. Statistically, I'm pretty confident that it's going to be a combination of Hockenson, Laporta, and Kelce.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, and just because Kelce's on the back end, but I mean the tight end depth is not great. So like there's not you know as well as I do. There's not a lot else going on out there for the world of tight ends.
Shout out to Sam Laporta and Trey McBride for boosting that room up a little bit.
Yeah, they say
don't forget about your boy Pat Freiermuth though.
Yeah, not this week. I'm trying to forget about him this week. Mitch Trubisky forgot about him. By the way, Mitch Trubisky is garbage.
Ain't no worse than Kenny Pickett.
He's not better. He's definitely not better.
hey, that's when you say equal to or less than, right?
Equal to or less than, man. Because oh my goodness, man, it is just. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't know how these teams are winning and how, like, teams like the Steelers have the record that they do. Because they're not overall good when you watch them.
Yeah. I don't think that the Steelers make the playoffs.
I don't either. And they're like, what, 7-6 now or whatever the case might be?
They are
7-5 will be 7. Yeah. 7-5. And I think this week, that's prior to this week, so it should be 7-6 post this week. So no, 7-5 is right because they had a bye. They did their bye thing. Yep, that should be okay. Oh my gosh, man, fantasy is just some.
So talk to me. You're over there. You're over there with
I'm stressing, man, because we are in. So for all y'all, because we like to talk about our league a little bit here, so you can hear our experience through the fantasy season. We are in a deadlock 4-way tie at the end of this week. So long as you don't lose, which I don't think you'll. He has 3 players. You have 2 left, but you have a pretty wide margin of a lead, and there's no way he's coming back. Not with CJ Watson's whack ass out there running around. But we're gonna be a deadlock 9-4 or 14, which is the first time I've been like in a deadlock with all 9-4 teams, and everybody of really good quality. The crappy part is we all play the lower end teams next week. So one of these lower end teams needs to take one of us out to see who actually is, the true first, second, third. We could all win, technically, but we'll see, because I'm trying to get that second place, but I'm in third now. You're in fourth. And then the other 2 guys, I'm trying to take those.
I'm in fifth. I'm in 5th place.
You right now, but you won't be. So the nice thing about Yahoo is it shows you the standings, the predictive standings. So if you were to win right now, it shows you where you would land. And I'm pretty confident you're going to win. I'm very confident that you're going to catch that dub. You have to use a stat tracker, but it does that for you, which is nice.
So it says I'm going to be in 3rd?
4th. You're going to be right behind me because I got more points than you.
What?
Yep.
Why would I be in 4th?
Because of points. So if everybody's tied, the next marker for who gets the lead is overall points scored.
Yeah, I needed you to beat. Yeah, I'm way behind in points. This guy got 2,000 points.
Yeah, he's the one that averages 170 or 175. His team is far beyond better than most of ours.
Yeah, I'll be in 4th. Man, I needed you to beat Jake today, man.
I needed to beat Jake today, but Tank Dell rolled up his ankle. I would have got 14, and Tank Dell could have closed that gap easy.
So tell me, how did that loss of Tank Dell, how does that look for you going forward?
So, and this for my team, anybody who owns Tank, is if this is it's a fibula injury. So if this is extended for the next few weeks, you lose a good wide receiver 2. He's been that at least. He's been a wide receiver 1 actually the last 4 weeks. So you lose a person that's a late round value that you drafted or picked up, and then that was basically a star for the past 4 weeks. That's going to crush my team. Now, luckily, I have Debo, who just went ham today. Shout out to Debo Samuel for, I think it was like 114. And let me look at that real quick. 116, 2 touchdowns receiving, and one rush TD, so 35 fantasy points. But it still hurts because now I got Garrett Wilson and the other dumpster fire of T. Higgins. So as my other receivers,
So you went back to get T. Higgins.
I did. I dropped who was it? I had to move him into for off of IR spot, so I dropped Logan Thomas. That's who it was, and I'm glad I did that. He didn't do anything. He got a 2-point conversion today. That was about it. So bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
But what killed me in this league was I dropped Trey McBride 2 weeks ago. I needed to fill some moves, do some stuff, whatever the case may be, right before he started turning up, or 3 weeks ago. Man, did he cook me today for 22 basically 23 fantasy points, man.
Ugh.
Oh my goodness, 8 for 89 and a score. Shout out to Trey McBride for being a stud, but that killed me.
Ooh,
That absolutely killed me because I had to start Freiermuth, who put up 5.9 fantasy points.
Ugh.
So
that one hurts.
Yeah, so when we talk tight ends, right? You asked me about the top tight ends. To me, tight end is that difference maker of position. It really is. They can help your team a lot, or they can crush you. And my battle this week is an example of that, where I got crushed.
My thoughts of it and my thoughts of this and my advice for next year, those of you who are already out of your playoffs and you're looking for next year, draft a tight end early. I'm gonna say second or third round.
Okay, now let me pause on that, because the tight ends that are doing well this year were not drafted early. The ones that are struggling are ones that, because people drafted Travis Kelce in the first round, second round, and drafted Andrews in the second, third round, right? In a lot of leagues. Now Andrews got hurt, whatever the case may be. But even before that, what was he really this season, right? He wasn't better than Laporta.
Who was that?
Mark Andrews.
He was better than Laporta to start the season, yes. To start No. Listen to what to start the season. Mark Andrews was better. We had no idea who Sam Laporta was. So to start the season, yes.
Having no idea is not one thing. If even though we don't know who he is, that doesn't mean he wasn't putting up numbers on the waiver wire, right? That means he could still be better than him. We just didn't have that faith. We didn't have an understanding because Mark Andrews is more established. But statistically, was Laporta better?
I'm talking about straight up out the gate. Straight up out the gate to start the season, like.
Are we talking just one game, or are we talking like maybe like the first 4 weeks? What's our?
I have no idea what the first 4 weeks was of Laporta because I wasn't even paying attention because I had Mark Andrews. So I didn't care about a tight end.
That's my point. What does the stat show? That's why you have to go to the stats. What does the stat show? Does the stat show that he was better or worse than Andrews?
He was probably better because Lamar Jackson is trash. He's the 32nd best quarterback in the league.
Your worst quarterback keeps changing every week, man. That's another story. We'll get to that one. Everybody keeps changing the 32. Everybody from like 29 or from 25 on is 32. See, like they're all 32.
Now you're getting it. Now you're picking up what I'm throwing down.
God, it's funny. But that's my point is, why draft these guys early if they're not going to be it? You know what I'm saying? Why draft Kelce if he's going to be 3, but you can get 1 and 2 off the waiver wire or in like the 10th, 11th round?
You don't know that though. You don't know that. And that's the thing. Had you have known have anybody had known Sam Laporta and Trey McBride would be doing what they're doing, you think that they would have went to the waiver wire or to the 11th round?
If anybody knew how bad that Kelce would be this year, would you draft him in the first round?
No, and that's a part of fantasy, right? And even though you drafted Travis Kelce in the first round, he's been a 3rd round guy.
So that's my point. Is like, instead of wasting a pick early, like I like the idea of getting a game changer, but the thing is, you don't know. I would rather get a more for sure game changer in the second and third round. Like I think to me, my point is, all tight ends to me should be like fourth round and later picks. That's just how I view tight ends, in general. But why would I do that when I can go get CeeDee Lamb, who was in the second round, right? Why would I do that? Why would I not do that over Kelsey? You know what I'm saying? Or Andrews? Or why would I not go for someone like Devontae Smith, who's been a clutch player like that, you know, and stuff. That's my point. Is like you're drafting all the over these tight ends who can be game changers, but you can also draft receivers and RBs that can be game changers in those same spots.
So my thing is because you can always go and get a CeeDee Lamb. You can always go get somebody CeeDee Lamb-esque, right? Tank Dell out of nowhere, right? Just boom.
But
He
that goes
hits
back
you.
to your point. Is like Tank Dell was somebody that you can't predict. So
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. As you go and you just got to hit the waiver wire first. You got to be the one to hit the waiver wire.
that's what I
You
think. Is
know,
like why I'm willing to wait on
Puka
the end for the
Nakua.
waiver wire because I did that with technically with McBride. I just screwed up. I dropped him too early, but I waited and it would have been worth it.
Yeah, but here's also the thing, though, right? There's not tight ends that's just blooming out the bloom, and it's such an X factor position. It's just like
See, for
I
me,
don't know,
I'm
man.
waiting to see which X factors actually show up after 1 or 2 weeks in the season, just like the Laporta, just like the McBride, just like all that stuff. For my philosophy, right? Because I don't want to waste that spot early and then have a average Kelsey or a non-factor Andrews, where now I could have had CeeDee Lamb. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you one thing: CeeDee Lamb ain't gonna be there in the second or third round.
Not next year, but he was this year.
He was.
Yeah,
He won't be there
and
next
that's
year.
people pick Kelsey over Lamb because of that mindset. But now, if you were to go back and redraft, you'd be like, "Oh, no."
Boy, was I one of them. I don't know where I got Mark Andrews at. I think maybe in the third round, but
Yeah,
hey, I tell you one thing: I'm picking Hawk in the third round next year. You guys can fight over whatever receiver or running back in the third round. Give me Hawk.
that's fair.
I feel like in my reasoning, I just feel like it's easier for you to find a Jahmyr Gibbs or to have a Jahmyr Gibbs or a David Montgomery or a Jerome Ford, who's been awesome this year after the injury to Nick Chubb. You know, split backfield with Kenneth Gainwell, a Chuba Hubbard who wasn't projected to be much of anything behind Miles Sanders, and now he's
Yeah,
putting up numbers.
running
You
backs are a
know,
mess. You're 100% there.
Dearness Johnston. You know, I
I just
mean,
talked
there's a
trash about CJ Watson. He just scored a touchdown. Anyway,
did he?
yeah.
Ah, you mean Christian Watson?
Or Christian Watson, yeah. I say CJ Watson, but yeah, I don't know why I say CJ. Christian Watson, yes.
Because he's trash. You can't
I
even remember his name because he's awful. Am I
know.
playing him? Yeah,
You are playing him.
he's
So,
putting up, he's doing numbers on me
but I
right now.
agree. For some of these running backs and such, unless you have a surefire RB, which even then, it's hard. And maybe this is some philosophy in the mindset shift because there's so many RBs like Jalen Warren and stuff that do come out of the woodwork that get the hype in the preseason, and you just gotta wait on until they get their moment. I agree with you there. That you could probably wait on if you can't get a top like Christian McCaffrey or I don't even know who even would qualify to be up there with Christian McCaffrey in that because Bijan was supposed to be, but he hasn't been, right? So CMC or nobody. Then I would wait till the later in the second round, probably going into the third round because running backs get hurt so often. Saquon's a good example. I drafted him in the first round, nothing, right? Basically been trash. So I definitely Austin Eckler was a good example too, right? Austin Eckler was supposed to be the guy. The whole system trash. So I agree with you there where you could wait on just drafting some later running backs and find those pieces. But for PPR leagues, those receivers can make a difference. Like you can go get Deontay Johnsons of the world and stuff like that, but they're not going to reach those levels that you need from, like I said, like I keep using CD as an example, and players like that. They're not going to reach that plateau. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not going to happen. At least not as consistently as you would with Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, who Devon Adams was supposed to be anyway. Puka Nacua, I guess, apparently now, but I can't really count him either because he was a late find. But Michael Pittman, who's also been really good and consistent in PPR leagues, so you can get those guys instead of those tight ends. That's what I'm saying. Just like your running back scenario, I would push tight ends down there too. So
I don't know, man. Draft you a tight end in the third round, it might work out for you.
I don't know if I can do it anymore, man. And the thing is, like, I drafted third round tight end. Yeah, I drafted Mark Andrews in a few leagues too, and nothing. I drafted the fifth round tight end. They're the same value right now. They're the same. They're the same garbage. So like that's what I'm saying. Like, they're the same garbage. So why not wait to the fifth? If I'm gonna get the same garbage. Yeah, fifth or later.
Well, okay, so let's go to our other league. I guess you're pretty much out of the Big Ten
I'm
league,
done.
huh?
Nah, I don't even. I got whooped. 100. He put up that guy 165 on me. I didn't even cover half the points.
Yeah, he's putting that thing on you pretty tough right here. And
He's
here
putting
I
up
am.
our league numbers in the standard league. That's how good his team is.
This dude, this dude is insane. He's gonna win it.
Yeah, man. He's
And our other league is just like, hey, look, may the best man win. We all right there. This guy,
but guess who his top two players are? Because he didn't go for tight end and he got Laporta late. CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill first, CeeDee Lamb second. He took that instead of going for someone like Kelsey, and guess how it's played out.
I mean, this dude's team is loaded. He got Jalen Hurts, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill. His running backs aren't that great
They're not
with
good.
Javonte Williams. I mean, Mostert is good, and Mostert has not been hurt this year as a surprise.
Yeah,
right? Mostert is always hurt. Mostert is always hurt. But Mostert has been very good. And then, I mean, surprise, surprise, Sam Laporta and Chuba Hubbard, I mean, is just killing it. And
was surprised.
And then he's like switches out his defenses and stuff like that between the Jets, the Texans. He's a matchup defense type of guy. I like that. I can respect it. So am I, you know?
Yeah,
so
I always run the waiver for defenses. It's just so matchup dependent. It really is.
Yeah, that's how I do it too. However, in this league, right, I was one of like dropping like 5 of like my last 7, like just stinking it up, like really bad. Started off hot, dropping. And here I am now with a big win this week from 6th place, barely be hanging in there, right?
Good
and now the fifth and the 4th person are about to get beat this week. So I'm about
you're gonna move up. That's good.
I'm gonna jump them to 4. Yeah, I'm gonna jump both of them to 4, and then I had a chance versus Night Watch last week, man, to put myself into the 3rd spot, but it's gonna be a crazy finish. It's gonna be a crazy finish in a lot of these leagues, man. I'm out of it in this league. I'm in 5 leagues, so I'm out of it in 1 league. This league I'm gonna move into the 4th spot into our Big Ten league. In our ESP or not ESPN, but our MSP league, I'm gonna move into the 3rd spot. You said, so I'm in it 4th. I mean, either way, I'm still in it, right? Like 1 game could put me in 1st place next week. You know what I mean? Like if anybody does anything, 1 game could move me into 1st place. This ESPN league, I'm putting it on this guy right now. But
I think I'm gonna be 4-1 for playoff runs. So in 4 leagues, I'll make the playoffs. 1 league, obviously, we just talked about. My existence is nothing. I'm nobody to these people, and but that's about it. So We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
I mean,
Everybody,
the biggest money league that I'm in right now, man, I
Mhm.
feel like whew, I I think I'm out of this one too, man. This is gonna be my first year ever donating in this league, but the donations is gonna come hard and fast.
The
And
big
it's
ones.
not gonna help that I got Geno Smith on my bench with 40 points.
Yep, you live and die by those moments, man. We talked about it.
So we'll see what happens, man. I think that I'm in it in our two leagues for sure. I'm still in it,
Yep,
and that's all that I could really hope is just to be in it in our two leagues.
yep, that's it,
Uh,
man. Hey, y'all. We hope you guys did better than me. You did just fine this week. So,
I
hope
didn't
y'all
do
did better
fine,
than
man.
me this week.
It's two leagues that I'm out of it in because I lost this week. I
Yeah,
needed to win this week to stay in it, and I lost.
that's fair. That's fair. Well, then we'll see how
So
we rock in the MSP league. That's the only league I care about, really. So,
yeah.
that one I still got a lot of big chances there for that bye week. I mean,
Hey,
we both make the money no matter what.
mark it here now. Mark it here now. I'm gonna shock. I'm gonna shock Steve Eck.
In the
I'm
playoffs,
gonna, yeah, in the playoffs, I'm gonna shock him.
you could. You have a good team.
I'm gonna
You
shock the
were unlucky
world.
for like 5 weeks in a row, but you have a good team.
I don't know how I dropped 5 of 7 and still in this spot, dude.
Man, sometimes you put yourself in a good position early to be able to survive. So that's what you got to do.
Hey,
So
really quick, really quick. I want to talk about this. Well,
yeah,
we have 2, 4, and 8 teams playing right now in one league. And where are they at? Oh, it looks like it's gonna be a big right now the score is 101 to 118, but Little Yard still got Trevor Lawrence, Jamar Chase, and Christian Kirk to play. And this person, Jet Shiesty, still has Evan Ingram to play, and then they play Marquise Hollywood Brown with a donut. But
mhm.
they're up 118 to 101. Guys, this
There's
is
a
a prime
chance.
example of playing to the end because
Yes,
this team, um,
there's six
Little
or seven
Yachts,
plays battling it out.
Which is Yachty's team, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're battling for the sixth spot to get in. Now, our top 4 teams, right, at the end of this, we'll all be what 9-4, right? Or our top 5 teams, 9-4, or 9-4, 9-4, 9-4, 9-4,
Yeah,
eight
nine
and
and four,
five.
8 and 5,
And then Yachty would probably with this win will move to
5 and 8.
5-8. And at 5-8, you just need a chance. And she's played till the end. She's played. She still
Yep.
has a chance. And even if so, right? Even if she was playing an upper tier guy like myself or you, and she shocked us, right? That moves us from 9-4 to 8-5,
Yep.
right? And that pulls
That's
us
what's
out of
gonna
the
happen
race
next
for being
week.
a number 1 spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Fantasy football can be like regular football. The craziest things can happen. Right now, Green Bay's beating Kansas City. Who crazy things happen.
Brock Purdy putting up a 40-piece burger earlier today. He snapped.
Debo
But that's
Samuel's the
it for
man.
us, guys. Thanks for hanging with us, man.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
chat with y'all next week, and we'll tell y'all what's going on.
I'll tell you what's going
Stay
on. And then
tuned.
I got some fun surprises coming up for you guys for our next week's Friday show. It's gonna be a good time for between Antoine and I. We're gonna have some fun with it.
All right.
Appreciate y'all.
Check you
Hey.
later.